Sir BIRB is here to finish off the BIRB Awards 2021 series. That's right. It's been a fantastic week, guys. And yeah, we're finishing off with the top 25 best albums in metal and rock for the year. And I know it's been a great year for music. Also, this show has been really good so far, and we still got some money left over from production, my producer said. So let's go crazy. Come on, get some explosions here. Yeah, and how about we bring in some special guests? Samuel Jackson, get your ass over here, man.
What's up? This is Samuel L. Jackson.
How about that? We got Samuel Jackson. How about Tom Cruise? Kind of quiet today. How about Vin Diesel? Nah, that was kind of weird, but okay, you know, we got some special guests, and let's finish off this intro by bringing in one very special guest. You know, anytime I post something on social media, like a selfie or a picture of like coffee or my dog, you know, there's always one comment that always has to say, where's Metal Babe? Where's Metal Chick? Where's your girlfriend? Like, I can't post anything without one of those comments, even though we asked for privacy. But I figured it's time to finally bring Metal Babe, you know, so it's been way too long. So Metal Babe, get over here. You look different, Metal Babe. Okay, well, wow. She looks a lot different now, guys. That's why we kind of needed our privacy. Anyway, you know what? That's a long enough intro. Let's get on to the album. So that's enough chit chat. So fucking do it. All right, those were 15 albums that you definitely need to check out if you enjoyed those clips, but let's move on to my actual top 10 list. And making it at number 10 is a band that really impressed me this year because it took me a long time to get into their music, but there's no denying how talented this group is from all aspects, in terms of instrumentation, in terms of creativity, in terms of vocals and the hooks and melodies and the theatrics. It's so over the top, but it's all in good fun. I had so much fun listening to this album from the theatrical standpoints, the horror standpoints, and hearing all like the callbacks to like movies and stuff, but also the instrumentation is phenomenal. Goes to Ice Nine Kills, The Silver Screen Part 2.
I'll see you on the other side, but I killed to bring you back tonight. Don't give up. Can't stop this cosmos lunatic. It's an open
All right, my number 9 goes to the fastest metal band that I've ever heard in my life. Their guitar work is so frantic, it's so shreddy, the drumming is relentless, the vocals are so stupid fast. Like, this band is just top tier. They have totally changed tech death for me. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this band, and this album is just short to the point, just 8 minutes of just insane shreddiness, and it goes to ARCHSPIRE, Bleed the Future.
All right, number 8 goes to the godfathers of this post-hardcore metalcore scene. Like, a lot of bands wouldn't sound the way that they do if it wasn't for this band to kind of like lead the way, including Architects, who are heavily influenced by this band. But yeah, so these guys are actually my favorite band of all time. You probably know who it is at this point. You know, their last album before this was kind of meh, and you know, it still was a good record. And these guys just don't put out bad records. They always constantly evolve. They do mellow out over the years, but this record really shows their experimentation. It shows their creativity. Their instrumentation has also gone a little bit more complex. I feel like they're playing around with timing and chords quite a bit on this record, and there's like 6 songs that I absolutely adore on this CD, and that's why it's ranked at number 8. Goes to Thrice, Horizons East. Number 7 goes to one of the best bands in the metalcore scene right now. Like, these guys know no bounds when it comes to their creativity, their songwriting. They're pretty much S tier in terms of instrumentation, vocals, lyrics, and this album did not disappoint. Although, with that being said, I do kind of miss the more proggier, weird structures from their earlier work, the more poetic nature to their earlier writing styles. This album sees the band and moving into a new direction, a little bit more similar to other metalcore bands. So that's why it's not ranked as high as I'd like, but it's still such a consistent record. It is one of the best metalcore releases of the year, and I can see the band getting some really big success with this album, and it goes to Silent Planet, Iridescent. Number 6 is pretty surprising for me because their last album was a nice new direction for the band. You know, they started incorporating some clean vocals, which was a little bit taboo for the scene that they're in, and they're from the deathcore scene. You can probably see where I'm going with this, but you know, this album really has shown that this band has matured. They're really expanding on their style. They're shaking up the deathcore scene with this album as well. That's why it's so high up. But also, this is just a really good concept album from start to finish. It's very consistent with its theme, and you know, the lyrical content and how each song kind of feels a little bit different from one another. And the pacing on this album is just phenomenal. Guitar work is so well crafted. You can hear their influences from like 90s rock and grunge, but holy crap, it is a mature take at the deathcore scene, and Whitechapel Kin is a phenomenal album.
As I approach to the glass lines of the echoing light, the moon never lies to awaken light. Underneath my shadow is a snake to betray my inside.
All right, next up on the list is the biggest surprise of the year for me, because this band really was not on my radar until President Nathan showed me on Twitch one of their songs, blew me away, and then after that I checked out their album on Twitch, and holy crap, I was so impressed from how this new upcoming band has found a new sound to the metalcore scene by incorporating thal, but not only thal like gent instrumentals, but also some folk kind of like fantasy sounding folk music, and it works so freaking well. It works unusually well with their music, but you know, that style could seem a little bit tacky, but it's how this album is crafted from start to finish that really tells this story, and it feels so complete. And for a new upcoming band to have such a strong like release like this is mind-blowing. Holy crap, this record really floored me, and it goes to Alice UKKO. All right, number 4 goes to a band that you should see coming on my list because, yeah, these guys wrote one of the best progressive metal albums of all time. Yep, back in 2007, they shook up the progressive metal and metalcore scene with their album Colors, and they decided to make a sequel to it. And holy crap, what a feat to try to tackle that album and make a sequel. But you know what? They did an excellent job, and that's why it's ranked at number 4. But it doesn't really come as close as Colors 1. But you know, from the instrumentation, from vocals, there's non-stop creativity. This is probably the band's most creative work to date, and for that, that's why it's so high up. I do miss the raw aggression found in their earlier years, but in place we have some solid instrumentation, some really fun hooks. It's quirky, fun, and long, and it goes to Between the Bear and Me, Colors 2.
The future, yes, they idealize the future. We have to bring it down, collapse society. We will above this, it's time to celebrate. We have to bring it down.
Number 3 goes to another surprise, and I know I keep getting surprised this year, and honestly it was a pretty surprising year, 2021. And this record, you know, on first listen I was a little bit iffy about it, and especially with their singles that were like kind of like, you know, in release of this album. But after like digesting the album and just listening to it back and forth, holy crap, the diversity in tracks and the ebbs and flows between each song flows so natural. The melodies are so incredibly infectious, and especially considering how technical this band can be, I was really floored by how much I really enjoyed this album. And also, not only that, I feel like they're really pushing the boundaries of what metalcore can be. You know, prog metalcore was kind of like dying out a bit. You know, there was a big, you know, revolution in prog metalcore in the early 2000s, and then, you know, in the 2010 decade I kind of fell off. But you know, with ERRA and stuff, they're making a statement, and I can see other bands trying to follow suit. And obviously, I already said the band name, it's ERRA and their self-titled album. All right, my number 2 is my most played record of the year. And you're probably thinking like, why is it not number 1 then? Well, just wait because, you know, with this record, I was just blown away by how aggressive and how relentless this record is, but it's also so incredibly catchy. Oh my God, the lyrics and the delivery of lines and the frantic riffs that are just so iconic. Some of the rhythms on this record are just so freaking fun, but it goes so freaking hard pretty much all the time. But you know, there's a good diversity in tracks, but it still stays consistent with its raw aggressive theme with personal lyrics and stuff. But you know, there's variety between, you know, the more punk tracks, the more rock tracks, and tracks that sound like Deftones, and then just to their pedal to the metal, southern twang, hardcore metalcore, pissed off music that it's 16 bangers. I freaking love this record, and it goes to Every Time I Die, Radical.
To be a better lover, don't wanna make you think that what you did in the long dark night of but what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Now
Okay, time for album of the year, guys. And this year was phenomenal for albums. Like, seriously, I think more than singles, bands really delivered some really good albums this year. And the one that's at my #1 spot, some of you can probably guess it at this point, but I was completely blown away by this record, and it really shows. This record has been 10 years in the making, and it's unlike anything else I've ever heard, and it's pretty much in a league of its own because the writing style is pretty much what other bands want to replicate. It is so unique in terms of its rhythms and complex timings with, you know, odd polyrhythms and guitars that actually evoke so much emotion out of me. Like, seriously, this is the only record this year where the guitars actually make me feel sad. They make me feel angry. Like, they're really the vocals behind this record, even though they do have a vocalist and he's very good. But I find the instrumental version of this album just as good or even better. Like, it really is all about this insane instrumentals and the nature sounds and the callbacks to certain melodies. It really feels like one piece of music rather than, you know, 17 songs. Like, it's a very long album. It's 80 minutes long, and I can see a lot of people not liking it because it's incredibly challenging. Maybe it's the musician in me that likes it, you know, average musician, but, you know, I can still pick apart some of the things that are going on, and it's such an experience to like sit through this album from start to finish. And I've only finished it a couple times because it's incredibly challenging, but holy crap, I feel so rewarded listening to this amazing record. It goes to VILDHJARTA, MASSTADEN under VATTEN. All right. So guys, that is it for the BIRB Awards. So I'm just gonna put my blazer over here. Man, it's been an insane year. It truly has. This channel has gone through some crazy changes along the way, but you know, I also had some amazing music. I had some amazing content to work with because the music in 2021 was incredible. So many bands, so much music. The pandemic really brought out everyone's creativity in these times where people are stuck at home, you know. But yeah, guys, even if you don't really agree with my list or anything, at least I hope that you discovered some new music through this channel, because I don't really care if you like agree with my list or not, because I listen to everything, not just prog, deathcore, you know, metalcore. It's all things. I'm really not a picky listener. So at the end of the day, I hope that some of you guys just found some new tunes through these videos, through this channel. But guys, at the same time, I'm curious to know what your favorite album of the year is. So comment down below, spice up my life. Seriously, what is your album of the year? You know, mine is not for everyone. I think some of you guys will agree and some of you will definitely not agree, but you know, that's the fun thing about music. It's all subjective, but at the end of the day, we're all metalheads, right? We all enjoy metal and rock music. So let's just talk about our favorite albums in the comments down below. Also, if you got to this point of the video and haven't clicked off yet, then I appreciate the shit out of you, man. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. But on that, thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.